11 a.m. in the morning, we were fucked because we were thinking, what do we do for the rest of the day now? We can't go back to work because we've had a drink, we take the day off. We can't keep drinking because if we do, what on earth are we going to do? It's 11 o'clock in the morning, we're already wasted, right? So there was nothing we could do. So we just ended up with headaches, hangovers, bored, the rest of the day, just a foggy, detached state. No way you could be a good husband, no way you could be a good friend, no way you could be a good father, right?
Let's do this. Have you ever walked past a pub at 9 a.m. in the morning and seen a group of men cradling pints like it was breakfast? I have, this morning in Cardiff. And to be honest, it shook me a little bit. Not because it's surprising anymore, but because it's normal. Too fucking normal. And if that's what we have to call normal now, we've got a serious fucking problem on our hands. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. My name is Lee Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now. So picture it. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, the Ivor Davies pub in Cardiff. 10 men roughly inside, all drinking pints of lager. 15 years ago, when I was a lush, I would have judged them hard, right? Sounds weird, right? But quietly. Because back then, I had rules, I had standards, right? I wouldn't drink before noon. That was a line that you just didn't cross. Back then, if you cracked a beer open before noon, you was an alcoholic and you didn't want that label. I actually remember in the summer heat on the weekends, pacing around the garden, looking at my watch, waiting for the clock to strike 12 just so I could drink. Like there was some magical threshold that would protect me from shame. And even the pubs reinforced it back then. They didn't open until midday and everybody kind of respected that, right? We would go to the pub on a Sunday and we would hang outside in the line, eager to start, but not a minute before noon. The only time these rules got broken that I remember was the World Cup of 2002. Because it was held in South Korea and Japan. And back then, as a drinker, I couldn't possibly watch a football match without getting off my head, right? So the games would start, I don't know, I can't remember. It was like something ridiculous, like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And I would invite all the boys around the house. We would take time off work and we would drink, we'd play pool, play darts, and we'd watch the game. But by 11 a.m. in the morning, we were fucked. Because we were thinking, what do we do for the rest of the day now? We can't go back to work because we've had a drink, we've taken the day off. We can't keep drinking because if we do, what on earth are we going to do? It's 11 o'clock in the morning, we're already wasted, right? So there was nothing we could do. So we just ended up with headaches, hangovers, bored, the rest of the day, just a foggy, detached state. No way you could be a good husband, no way you could be a good friend, no way you could be a good father, right? And that's what came to mind this morning when I saw those men sitting in silence, each one alone, sipping from a glass that promised connection, but delivered nothing but loneliness, which is quite apt because this week is loneliness week, right? They weren't celebrating. They weren't there because it was 5 o'clock somewhere else in the world. They were there because they had nowhere else to go. And this made me wonder, when did this become okay? All right, we're going to take a short break, and I want you to sit with this. Is a man sipping lager at 9 a.m. a symbol of freedom, or is it a casualty of a culture that sells sedation as salvation? Have a think about that. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. I am your host, Lee Davy. And before the break, we were talking about the quiet tragedy that I witnessed this morning in a Cardiff pub at 9 a.m. and the question lingering beneath it. How did we get here? Well, here's the thing. Until 2005, pubs in England and Wales, they couldn't legally sell alcohol in the mornings. I also remember as a kid, they actually closed the pubs at Sunday at a certain time. I can't remember what it was. It actually coincided with the start of football. So I think they kicked you out like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something because the landlords would lock us in. We'd have a lock in. We'd all have to try to be quiet while we drank through the afternoon and watched the football, right? This was all about licensing laws that span back to the early 1900s, right? And they were designed to keep the workforce productive and the streets safer. But then came the Licensing Act of 2003, and it allowed pubs to open for extended hours, like in the morning. And suddenly, the industry, which was already struggling, had a new tactic: availability equals profit. And they said in their advertising that this was all about freedom and modernization of the modern man, right? But it was always about money. It's always about money, and it's always about control. And here's the liquid lie in full effect, right? You don't have to drink at 9 a.m. in the morning, but now you can. So because you're lonely and you're lost and you're broke and you're purposeless, maybe you've retired and you don't know what to do with yourself. Maybe you're a divorced father and you don't know where to put yourself, right? But now there's a seat waiting, right? There's a pint poured for you, a quick fix pretending to be a home. But it's all just a fucking illusion, right? What I saw this morning, and I only put my head around the door just to see, and I quickly saw 10. I imagine if I would have walked in there was more. And what I saw this morning wasn't men enjoying life. They weren't there supping the pint, enjoying anything. They looked like men that were escaping from life. Because, and I felt this, when you don't feel like a man, you find something, anything that makes you forget life in general. And alcohol is brilliant at that. And here's the truth, strivers. Those men that I saw this morning, they're not weak. They are unsupported. They are unseen. They are unheard. They are the uninitiated. Strive exists to try to change that. This is why I say at the beginning of this podcast, I'm not an alcoholic and I refuse to be anonymous. I want each and every one of you to stand up and to talk about your experience and to share what it's like to be locked into the liquid lie under the claws of alcohol reliance, but to suddenly emerge from that, because it's very powerful and it shows a different message and a different world to people, right? We can be the change that we want to see in the world. Remind men and women that 9 a.m. isn't too early to experience joy, connection, or clarity. It's just too early to destroy it. On to today's daily vow. Today I will not drink because I do not need a pint to feel human. I need presence, purpose, and people to see me. And I'll be damned if I trade that for a sip of sedation. We didn't evolve to drink alone at 9 o'clock in the morning. That is not freedom. That is surrender. And if we don't start telling a different story, the next generation will think this is just how men live. Or worse, this is how they die. Some questions for you to reflect on as you go about your glorious day today. When was the last time you saw someone drinking and actually felt a pang of sadness instead of judgment, like I did this morning? What did your rules around drinking say about your deeper beliefs? And what would your 9 a.m. self really want if booze wasn't an option? You can find me on social media at LeeDavyCoaching or email me at strivemethod@gmail.com. That's all I got time for today, folks. But I will be back tomorrow with another gem on this podcast. If I am providing any value to you, then all I ask is you rate and review the show or send it to somebody who could really do with it, because this podcast can change lives. People really struggling need some help out there. Please subscribe so you don't miss a beat. And if you want to learn how to reclaim your mornings, your masculinity, and your meaning, go to www.thestrivemethod.com and join the waiting list for the Strive Method. Get into the stuck phase, the first of 6 phases that can help you to learn to become alcohol-free as fuck, to stop drinking alcohol, to find freedom. Get over there and check it out. And until tomorrow, much love and strive on. And remember, today, when that little devil speaks to you and tries to get you to drink, you don't need it. All right? You can get through today without drinking. Just today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just today. All right? You got it. Much love and strive on.